It's said that every dog has its day, and that applies to cars as well. Case in point, the Chevy Camaro. 2002 is the last model year for one of America's most famous muscle machines. So Craig Singhaus decided it was time to look back to a time of peace signs, purple haze, and the birth of an automotive legend.
In the spring of 1964, the Ford Motor Company set the automotive world on its ear with the introduction of a new kind of personal fun car, the Mustang. Called a pony car because of its smaller size, Mustang sales were phenomenal, and other manufacturers took note. And so in response, in September of 1966, Chevrolet countered with its own entry into the pony car wars. And its name was
Camaro. Fiery new creation from Chevrolet.
This was Chevrolet's product for the emerging baby boomers, those young and surprisingly affluent buyers that wanted the fun of a sports car, but an affordable and practical coupe package. The first generation Camaro was such a success that it would influence Chevrolet performance for the next 3.5 decades.
Camaro, the new car that's something else. Something you've never seen before in a driving machine.
To take a closer look at the Camaro that started it all, we met with old friend and noted Camaro historian and restorer, Jerry McNeish.
The Camaro was Chevrolet's answer to the pony car wars of the Mustang, which had come out 2 years prior to the Camaro's introduction. And they really catered the car to younger generations, kids getting out of high school, a guy just out of college getting his first real job in the real world. And you know, most of the kids in their late teens, early 20s really were influenced by this automobile because it was sporty, it was affordable, and basically it was for the young of heart. As far as the dimensions of the car, it's a little bit smaller than your average automobile. Wheelbase is 108 inches, same as the Mustang. Basically, when the car came out in 1967, it was a 4-seater. They put 2 seat belts in the back. In 1968, they added a 3rd seat belt, calling it a 5-seater. But the original concept was a 4-seater. There was a wide variety of options. You can get anything from a stripped-down 6-cylinder with no radio delete up to a loaded Super Sport with power windows, AM/FM radio, Rally Sport package, which was the hideaway headlights. So basically you can get into one for a little under $3,000, or if you wanted to run it up on the option list, you could, go into the $4,000 range category.
Jerry, your 302 cubic inch engine was one of how many by the end of '67?
Actually, Craig, the Camaro had 8 engine combinations by the end of the model year. They had 2 6-cylinders, 2 327s, a newly created 350, a newly created 302, and 2 396s to choose from.
That's a lot of choices.
That's why they sold a lot of cars.
That and great marketing. By January 1967, Camaro had been seen on the cover of almost all the enthusiast magazines, was the subject of a popular 45 RPM record, and was featured on television across the land. By the end of the 1967 model year, Chevrolet would sell over 220,000 Camaros. By the end of the 1969 models, that figure was almost 750,000 Camaros total.
The car was very, very well received by all kinds of people. You had young guys that were racing, you had middle-aged people that just wanted something affordable and sporty to drive.
Now, I've always been a Mustang kind of guy, but I'll let you in on a little secret. Mustang folks regret the end of Camaro as much as anybody. It was the Camaro that inspired Ford to build a better Mustang, and vice versa. It was a fierce rivalry that made both cars greater, and life with only one pony car will certainly never again be quite as sweet.